So I literally just got like 6 minutes into something and then realized it wasn't recording because I got a new phone. Well, I guess that was practice, and I'll just start right over. Anyway, I got a new phone, so hopefully that spruces up the joint and I get something nicer on my YouTube channel and makes you guys enjoy it more. Um, I can't believe I just did that. I also have a mustache now. It's probably temporary. We'll see. I don't know. I might have to shave it tomorrow. I have a photo shoot, so we'll see. But I think it's funny and I kind of like it. I hope you like it. Anyway, to the point again. Um, Today I felt inspired because I posted something and to my story on Instagram, and I think that it's well, the first thing that I wanted to talk about is that I think that it came. I know that it is contradicted. I contradicted myself in the past, not in that moment, but in the past. I know that in the past I have said something completely opposite of that, and I feel like people don't give understanding, forgiveness, whatever the word may be, to people who are evolving. You know? Like, I may have said one thing in the past, and parts of that might still be true, but the truth is that my thoughts evolve. I'm a different person. I want to get better and different all the time. So if you're expecting me to be the same person my whole life, that's just nonsense, because that's not me. Some people do that. But cool, go do you. I evolve, and my thoughts are going to evolve, so they're going to be different. And I don't necessarily think that means better or worse, right? Because in my world, we've talked about previously, everything's subjective. So I know that nothing's right or wrong, but there is my truth or my not truth, right? And um, at that moment, that was true for me. What's true for me now, reading this post, what I'm sharing, is true for me now. And it may continue to guide me, and it may not guide me much further than today. But the point is that you can analyze it and take from it what you think. Now, onto the topic at hand. Um, well, yeah, onto the topic at hand. I posted the actual meme that I posted to my story on Instagram is basically one that says it talks mostly about time. And people, I don't know if they saw it that way, but that's how I saw it, is that it's about time. And it's about sharing your time and expectations of sharing your time and how that comes about with people. And I know in my past, I've posted things that say, if someone doesn't make time for you, they don't want to be in your life. And to a degree, I understand that. You have to gauge the kind of person it is. If that kind of person is who you're dealing with, then yeah, it might be possible. But for some people, you have to understand the context of their lives, right? We're judging too many people on stereotypes and boxes and not realizing that we all have these individual lives with individual demands that make us treat ourselves differently at different times. Like this specifically was talking about how this meme specifically talked about, some people might have family issues, they might have this, they might have health issues, they might have all these different reasons that they can't see you. And that somebody else, even though with those exact same conditions, might say, well, I do it. Why can't you do it? There's so many other reasons to that too. You are entirely different people with entirely different personalities, coping mechanisms you learn throughout the year, skills and techniques literally to even tackle the problems. Like, it is totally irrelevant whether you have dealt with the same issues as somebody else. And further, you shouldn't be trying to disqualify them. If they're telling you that those things are what's stopping them, accept it or don't. Stop doing this middle ground bullshit. Say, hey, I really think that this might be a you thing. I think you might be doing this to people, and it might be happening consistently. And it's not just an issue of, I have a family thing, or this anxiety issue, or this. It becomes more of a story that you're telling yourself. And we need to be okay telling people that. Because too many people are going around thinking that, like, the context of our lives maybe isn't real, and so now you don't get to forgive them for not having time for you. It's like, I want to see all my friends. All of them. But I consider that a want. I love you all, but it is a want. I want you in my lives. It's not a need. If it were a need, it would come in this other list. And this other list is the need list. And it contains, for me, things like making sure I'm doing my, well, obviously like eating and sleeping and all that nonsense. But, you know, on top of that, there are needs per individual. I'm going to quote my favorite show, Westworld, right now. Core drives. Crazy. That's what I'm talking about. A person's core drive. If you know your friend and you know this person, me, I don't see a lot of my friends, but if you know me, right, you know that I am constantly working multiple jobs. I have multiple goals happening at the same time, and they're all pushing me and taking so much of my time and demand, honestly, I need to give them more time, but I stop myself to enjoy life, the little bit that I do, when I see you all. So I don't think people realize that they're not giving people that individualization, and we're judging everybody on more of a stereotype level in that sense when you're dealing with those kinds of personal, emotional ties. You know, some people, their friendships are needs. That's in the need list, and that's great. Love that. Find other people with friends in their needs list. I'm not one of them. And I'm telling you. And I tell you repeatedly. And I tell you in many different ways. And I tell you a lot. I love you. It does not change my love whether I need or want you. But when I realize you're in the want list, at least this time in my life, remember we're talking about things can evolve. Maybe that'll change. But you can't make it seem that and turn it around so that I don't care about you because I need to do these things. That's not reality. It's true, but the reality is that it's about time, and that I feel the time pressure, and others feel the time pressure on the things that they need, whereas some people's needs list don't feel the pressure of time. You can always have friends. You can always have family. Well, that's privileged to say. You can't always have family. But there are many things in this world that you can have consistently, that many people have in their needs list. Comfort. I don't need comfort. That's want. It's not a need for me. Assess based on that needs list and realize that everybody's is different. And that we don't have the same pressures placed on them. Somebody's need may have a pressure of youth. Some people's may have a pressure of health. You know? And you have to realize what these are to who. Not just who you think they are. What they think they are. Not even what they are. Right? I'm living in the mentality of I want to be a pop star, a host, an entertainer. I sort of am. It's sort of happening. But to get there, you have to be there in here. Which means you wouldn't ask Selena Gomez to meet up for coffee while she's trying to make her next damn album. She would say, hey, I have time. She's not going to just go when you want her to. It's just reality. I made the joke earlier to somebody, is like, you wouldn't make Einstein go to get coffee with you to stop his physics experiment. And they said, well, you know he would go because he knows he sees the value of a meeting like that and of going to get coffee in a break. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. But that doesn't mean he'd go when you say. And that doesn't mean he would go when you guilt him. Or when you make it seem like that's more important than what he's doing. He's gonna go when it's gonna be good for him. Period. And the people that he will keep will be the ones that get that. I'm not Einstein. I'm not Selena Gomez. I'm me. But me has just as particular of rules as theirs. And so does everybody else. So think of everybody as individuals. And stop assessing our desires for connection incorrectly. Just because you really want to see somebody doesn't mean that it's a need.